Hare Krishna, my name is Isvara. Today we discuss the topic, what is having a relationship / walk with God really means. So, what is having a relationship with a man for a woman means, or a woman for a man really means? Relationship can be of either two kinds. It is either a relationship that is based on love, or it's a relationship that it is actually based on hate, despise. But in either of these cases, there must be the object in order to relate to. So this common object that we has to relate to either in love or in despise or hate. This means that it is a going and coming. That is, we give certain expression and we receive certain expression. If it is a relationship based on love, we give a loving expression, expression in terms of feeling, touching, whatever, and we receive. And in this way, it goes to and fro. And as it goes to and fro, in general case, as long as there is this exchange, then the relationship enhances. In either case, in hate or in love, as there is this exchange, it intensifies the relationship. So a relationship with God can either be also in terms of love, or could also be in terms of hate. Just like people in terms of hate despise God, and they will try to conclude so many reasons that He does not exist. But in reality, if you carefully note that, as I mentioned earlier, that this object remains in both cases, the object that is God, He remains in the center of both of these persons' relationship. Those who are denying Him cannot deny His existence without accepting His existence. And those who are loving or accepting His existence cannot do that without accepting His existence. So in both cases, both of these persons, they has to accept God's existence in order to either to despise Him or to love Him. So we are want to speak about those who want to love Him. So those who want to love Him, it is a matter of, as with a man or a woman, it is a matter about doing favorable things. So in the same way, it is a matter of having a favorable relationship. And a favorable relationship means a relationship that, a purely favorable relationship is based on a relationship that has no desire for reward for such service, for such relationship. It's a haidukiya pratihata. There's no motivation behind this service attitude, this relationship. Generally, in the material world, we find that all relationship, there is a motivation behind it. That is, without a man and a woman, without there being constantly interaction or constantly relating with each other, and they're fulfilling someone's and each other's gratification, then the relationship cannot last. But in terms of our relationship with God, our disposition, our actual position in relationship to God is a natural one. It is what has to be there. It is what is best for us. In the material world, we try to replace this relationship with God, and we put so many other objects and isms in the place of them. That is, we put wife or husband or children or country, land, so many different things we try to put in the place. But because these material objects, they are transient by nature, they're insubstantial, then the relationship becomes subjected to that same circumstance. The relationship becomes temporary also. So, but because God is eternal, and because we who are actually eternal spirit soul that are eternally servants of God, then that relationship with God is an eternal, rightful disposition of us to engage in this loving service to God. So, relating and walking with God means to be in relation to God for His pleasure. So, why should it be His pleasure? Because He is the source of all pleasure. And whatever happiness that we seek, that happiness is derived from Him. And whatever, even in the temporary material world, whatever facility we have to so-called try to enjoy the objects of the senses is all being done by God. Is all being enabled by God. He gives that facility to gives us the opportunity that we want to enjoy separate from Him. So He gives us that facility to give it a try to see if it can fulfill the happiness that is lacking in our relationship with Him. And eventually, it takes us time, but in the course of time, the soul evolves and he becomes mature enough that he realizes Vasudevam iti sarvesham, that Krishna, Vasudev, is everything. And therefore, he completely surrenders himself to the Lord and engages in loving service to the Lord. Hare Krishna.